Hi, today I'd like to talk about child abuse prevention. We've all heard the news concerning the young child that's gone missing, that is found murdered by their parent. Um, the child that had a step parent that mistreated them. Uh, these families have been in social services. Sometimes they were never even seen. No one ever even knew there was anything going on. The stories are saddening, and the saddest part of all is that it could have been prevented. By educating the public about the signs of abuse and how to intervene, educating families concerning how to help or stop a family member who is being abusive, educating parents before the abuse happens to help them understand their child development, giving them the skills outside of an abusive or violent means of discipline that maybe they had because they were abused as children. These options can help prevent the child abuse epidemic that we have here in the United States. The BBC actually did a documentary because they wanted to know why one of the most prosperous nations in our planet has the worst child abuse record. The death rate in the United States right now is approximately 5 children per day that are killed by a family member, or whose death is as a result of abuse from a family member. Over the past decade, more than 20,000 American children have died at the hands of their own family. That's 4 times the number of the U.S. soldiers that have been killed in Afghanistan and Iraq. The parent risk factors that lead to child maltreatment are substance abuse, mental illness, domestic violence, child conduct issues, and poverty. Unfortunately, poverty isn't something that can actually be solved. But it is one of the highest risk factors that we find more children from poverty areas have been abused. In today's economic downturn, there's been an increase in child maltreatment because more people today are finding themselves in poverty. Of the risk factors that can be helped, the substance abuse, the mental illness, the domestic violence, these are issues that can be dealt with through therapy, ongoing child services. The child conduct problems are usually issues where a child has ADD, ADHD, they have oppositional defiance disorder, things that parents need to be educated about and how to approach and deal with their child specifically. And then there's just your average everyday parent who deals with the frustration of raising a strong-willed child, or a child that just happens to be at that age, the 2-year-old, the 5-year-old, the potty training issues. Educating parents, giving them the skills and the tools to deal with those issues can help prevent the frustration that a parent feels that may lead them to reacting in a way that's harmful to their child. And abuse has a cycle. There's the immediate cycle, which happens at the time of the abuse. Tension builds, something happens like spilling the milk, causes the abuser to react physically. Afterwards, there's guilt and promises, and eventually the cycle starts all over again. But there's another cycle, and it's the generational cycle, where the abused becomes the abuser. Parent education classes can give those parents the skills to break the cycle, to come out and use different tactics than what they knew as children. By providing these educational programs, we can end the cycle. We can teach the family and the community the signs of abuse in order to get a child help and prevent future abuse. Prevention is the key to putting an end to domestic violence, and it involves education. Providing resources to an affected community and severe punishment to offenders needs to be done in order to be effective. Child abuse is not a new thing. The maltreatment of children has been around for a long time. It was not until the ASPCA stepped in pertaining to a case of abuse in 1873 that any laws were enacted to end child maltreatment. Since then, there have been more laws. There's been educational programs and support services that have helped working with this issue. Educating parents on parenting methods and child development can help parents work to prevent situations that lead to loss of control and abuse. Educating the community and the nation on the signs of abuse and neglect can help reduce the epidemic overcoming our nation. It just takes one person to interact for the sake of a child to save a child. As Kofi Annan, a Ghanaian diplomat, said in 2001, education is a human right with immense power to transform. Parental education programs will give parents the tools to transform their families and end the cycle of abuse.